Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with another Destiny 2 Reacts. Today, specifically, we're talking about EK. If you don't know about EK, he used to be a very prominent streamer. I even knew about him because people would post how epic he was for doing so many carries on Grandmasters. He was the Grandmaster of Grandmasters, and then he done effed up. He got caught with his pants down. He got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. He got banned. And essentially all ties for Destiny were ripped from him. Why? Because he leaked information. And here we have, and we'll get more into the consensus, understanding of the story in a minute. But here we have Destin Bolton putting Don McGowan, a former Bungie general counsel, discussed how they tracked down Ekuegan, a Twitch streamer who leaked Destiny 2 content from a community summit last year. Yeah, he essentially went in, he took documentation, records, video of Season of the Deep, I believe, which is, I'm going to say right now, if there was ever anything you were wanting to showcase, Season of the Deep, like the seasons in The Last Wish, or not The Last Wish, but Lightfall were garbage. So to imagine throwing away your career for something like Lightfall content, that's wild to me. But anyways, he decided he was going to do that. He threw away his career in Destiny, and he was very prominent, pretty popular. He could have probably gotten pretty far. And my dude threw it in the dumpster. So here we go up, Bungie leaks. I wonder how EK's taking this article. Ladies and gentlemen, I woke up to an article being written this morning by Jason Schreier and a former Bungie employee lawyer lying on my name. There's something called metadata, which tells exactly where a photo has been taken and by what device. And I will die on this hill. I never took any photos and never sent anyone anything. The only thing I did wrong was record the last 45 minutes because it was rushed. I watched it and got rid of it after. We'll get to that in a minute. I sat down with JoJo and we found out that my PC was compromised. Someone in the system without me knowing it. I sent that to Bungie as proof. Slandering someone's name with something that won't hold up in court is not cool. Go ahead and sue, big boy. Let's see how it goes. I kept quiet because of the racist lawyer, and I used the SIP GIF the day he got fired, but no way in hell he gets to go around lying about stuff in the articles. First off, you literally admitted to recording 45 minutes of stuff. You are immediately breaking NDA. It doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't have photos. You broke NDA. It doesn't matter if it was you, your brother, your sister. It could have been your greasy old grandma. It doesn't matter. You broke NDA and recorded what you were not supposed to record. And it was on your computer. Listen, it doesn't just magically show up in your computer unless you transfer it over. If you record it with your phone and you transfer it over, you had intent to do stuff with it. You are breaking NDA. What it was is he was slaving at the chops at some content to get some views, and he was like, oh, how can I get this out and ready and prepared? I guarantee he was wanting to make some videos that he can start pulling views. It's crazy, the mentality of like, shoot first, ask questions later. Well, he shot himself in the foot. And now he's playing victim. Oh man, I didn't do anything wrong. Admits to recording 45 minutes of stuff he was not supposed to record. And someone else taking over your computer is not an excuse at all. I mean, you can't use that as an excuse. Like, for instance, when people hack into Sony and they steal information, they can't be like, oh, it wasn't our fault. It was someone broke into our computers and stole the information. We are so sorry. No, people are not going to trust them. People are going to want them to be held accountable, just like you are being held accountable for yourself. Anyways, he's not on Destiny anymore. I just want to get more into the article to kind of read more about the leaks. But it's hilarious that this dude is straight up desperate to defend himself. I'm done with this topic. Believe what you want. Karma will do what it does. And that was like, what, a year ago? Yeah, karma really hasn't done anything, bud. You lost everything. How's that for karma? But what's even sadder is that he's always had like a sassy attitude about the whole shebang bang. Do you pursue legal action or ban them? No, we just ban them. So this is an article. We'll get to it in a minute. You validate everything that goes against me without any proof. Where's the actual proof that I took the pictures, which you can search through the metadata? You folks just believe. You admitted to recording it, you moron. He's over like, I admitted to recording, but I did not have sexual relations with those photos. I had nothing to do with those photos. I just did 45 minutes of video. That's it. But I had no sexual relations at all with those pictures. Was not me. It was someone who hacked in. And what's funny is like if someone's hacking your stuff, I would imagine that they would get access to more things from you. Like there would be a bigger issue with the fact that they have more stuff on you. Like who's going to know to hack you specifically? Come on, that's such a lame excuse. Anyways, we're gonna go right into the actual Bloomberg. We're gonna go right into the article and kind of see what's going on. All right, Wednesday, we're talking about one of the video game industry's veteran leak investigators. But first, don't care. Plugging the leaks. A few weeks ago, this newsletter delved into the culture of video game rumors and insiders and how they faced a reckoning in recent months. Yeah, there's been a lot of leaks in a lot of games, and people are starting to push back, especially developers. They're starting to punish people more severely. But I was curious to learn more about what it's like to chase down leaks from a video game company's perspective. So I spoke to Don Goen, the former general counsel at Sony Group Corp. Bungie, the maker of Destiny 2. Before that, he spent more than a decade as chief legal officer at Pokemon Company, and also worked at Xbox, which is funny. He worked for Pokemon. But if anyone knows, there are so many leaks in Pokemon, it is almost as if Nintendo does it intentionally. It is hilarious how much get leaked for Pokemon. In other words, McGowan has had to plug a lot of leaks. When screenshots or details of upcoming content for games such as Bungie's Marathon pop up before they're supposed to, he's been charged with investigating what happened. We talked about tracking down these leaks, the difference between content leaks and misconduct leaks, and how people get caught. The following conversation has been edited for brevity and clarity. So when you're general counsel at Bungie, what leads you to start investigating a leak? I had a regular sync with our PR. A lot of stuff came to me through them or the community team, which is usually the best way to find out about the leaks. Yeah, because if there's leaks, it's always on Twitter. And so who's going to be looking at that? The community managers. Which leads to certain challenges. Everybody had access to everything. If you hire fans are interested in are getting clout inside their clans by talking about stuff. The problem is our information is their currency. True. The more you know, the more you can put out there, the more views you get, the more cash money you get. Except me. I don't get paid for this, so YOLO. Can you give me a specific situation where you had to track down someone and figure out who they were and why they did it? We had a little stuff come out about Marathon. I did some internal digging. We figured out who it was, and they became what I refer to as a future ex-employee of Bungie. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Future ex. So what? So are they? Future means they're still employed. So does that mean that they're being used for services? It's almost like Bungie knows who it is, but they're going to continue to use them for their services. And then once Marathon's done, they're getting fired. That's kind of like interesting way of like, hey, we're firing you because we know you leaked this, but we wanted you to finish your job first. It's like you're dying in a corner. Like, hey, can you finish cleaning the aisle over there? Then you can go to the hospital. Thanks. We appreciate it. Do you know why they did it? Because they wanted to be cool with their clan. When we think clan, I think Destiny. So it is this someone that works for someone that worked clan. They also had people from people who observed Tarkov, like people who play Tarkov, they came in and played. So it could have easily been them that were leaking it too. So a Bungie employee just shared information with their clan. Then it got out from there because the clan members have the information so they can be cool by telling other people. How do you track down who did it? There's an interesting phenomenon, which is that a lot of people use the same online identity over and over again. My Blue Sky handle is the same as my Twitter handle. It's often also their email address, and they've registered email address with us, so we can figure out who the clan member is. And that's called being stupid. If you want to leak stuff, always have burner accounts. And that it becomes a question of looking at server logs. Who's in the clan with this person? Do we know who the people are that are in a clan? That results in an eternal person. That's very likely to be our guy. How do you feel personally about the fact that doing this job will lead to someone losing their job? The way I always said to myself, and the way I think about it, is you knew how not to lose your job. Come on, buddy. You should have known better than this. Just because our information is your currency, this wasn't your currency to spend. I think that's fair. I think if you have inside information, I think it's your responsibility to hold it, right? I think it's your responsibility. You're getting paid to do a job, and you're under this requirement that, hey, we're paying you. You're not going to take more money by taking information and selling it, because if you're trying to get clout or views or whatever clicks you're wanting, you are making money off it, and it's damaging us. I think people will have less sympathy for someone who's leaking information about Marathon than someone who's leaking about, say, workplace misconduct. When it's somebody complaining about workplace issues, I don't really necessarily want to know who it is, unless what they're complaining about is my boss is sexually harassing me. Then I want to know who it is, because I want to know who their boss is. I'm investigating, not trying to out the person, but try to assess the truth of what they're saying. That makes sense. Hey, if it's something personal, you don't have to like your boss. My job's not to find out, but if your boss is doing something that is illegal and harmful and immorally wrong, we need to get this guy. It is your job to get fired. Is it your job to get them fired? Report them to the proper channels? Let's say someone hypothetically talking to our friend Jason Schreier about the concern of an upcoming release of a game. That's a very different conversation to me than if someone's talking to my friend Jason Schreier about a boss who's sexually harassing them. I care a lot more about the second one, and I care about the second one not because I'm going to get the person fired, but because I want to find out if their thing is true. So you find out David is talking to me. What happens to David next? Washington has a fairly strong whistleblower protection. Even if I dispose toward retaliation against someone in that situation, I'm not. And I'd be very remiss to do that in the state of Washington. I might have to talk with David. I might say, listen, I figured out it was you. Do I not seem approachable? Why are you and I not having a conversation about this? Obviously, my job is to protect the organization, but protect the organization takes on different meanings to different people. To me, protecting the organization has always meant protecting people from bad things. I get it. So it's like, hey, why are you outing people as if they need to be outed? Like you can come to me and talk to me. Like, I want you guys to trust me and talk to me. I'm the person, this is my job. But there's whistleblowers laws that if people come out and say that they can't be retaliated because they're trying to protect themselves. But what he's saying is, listen, you need to come to me first to try to see if we can resolve this. But he's not going to hold it against them. I think people go to journalists as a last resort when they have no other options. I did my best to make myself as approachable as I could. I know the title screams louder than anything I could do. That would be the conversation I would have with them. What was the reason you felt you couldn't come tell me about this? Because I needed to get better. Yeah, so it's like self-introspective. What can I do to make myself more approachable? What's the wildest story of a leak you dealt with? Back when I was at Pokemon, some kid figured out how to extract the images from the card game. What? Track images from the card game. He found an icon from the developer and said, holy crap, I found a new Pokemon. This kid included his email. And because of the way Pokemon did account creation, when we got the child's account, we got the parent information, which included a phone number. Wait, so let me reverse this. Some kid figured out how to extract the images from the card game. He found an icon from the developer. And he found a new Pokemon. So I called his mom and said, listen, I want to tell you something that Andrew is doing on the computers. She says, so you're saying he's hacked your game? And I hear in the background, I didn't hack anything. I started describing it more technically. She says, is this a problem? I say, hacking software, that's a federal crime, but I don't want that to be the conversation. Why don't we make it a conversation about the good and bad things that he can do with a computer? The kid was live tweeting it. The tweets were, Pokemon just called my house. What the hell is the general counsel? I know what I did was wrong and I'll never do it again, which was fantastic. Absolutely baked my legend in Pokemon for 5 years. A little kid? Dude, I'm sorry. This is too extreme. Played the card game, found a new Pokemon, and they called his house. Bro, I would have hung up so fast. I would you're not gonna sue my kid. If it's a child, you're not gonna sue my kid. It would make Pokemon look like a laughing stock in the community. But imagine Nintendo sues kid. Now, me as an adult, I'm gonna pull my kid aside and like, what are you hacking? Because if you grew up to age 16, I'm kicking you out of the house because I'm not getting to jail for you. But Pokemon ask for that. I don't care. Who cares? Hey, if you're gonna leak stuff, by the way, also do it where you have a fake name. I'm gonna teach my kid. Use a fake account, fake name. Make sure they can't identify you, moron. Anyways, that's crazy. Let's continue on. I want to get to the main stuff. Do you pursue legal? That's probably. Oh wait, hold on. It starts here. Can you walk through your exact process of finding leaks? Are you looking at emails, badge logs? Bungie is a fully remote company, so their badge logs were no use to me. Confluence logs were very useful. My first thought is I have to authenticate if it's real, because a lot of leaks were educated guesswork. My next thought, though, would be who had access to it. We had a similar situation with a content creator, EK. We'd done a community day where we brought in a bunch of community content creators and opened up a stream. One of them took photos of his computer and released those for clouds. Guys, it wasn't photos. I had no sexual relations with those photos. It was only videos. Not on his own name, just leaked them out so he could get clout with the website he was leaking them to. We figured it out. Who were the streamers on the call? There were 12 of them. Let's start looking at these streamers. One of them had 2 computers. One day he streamed from his other PC. We saw the icons on the bottom of the screen were exactly the same as the ones in the photographs. All right, that's our guy. So we set up a call with him. He started trying to say it must have been my roommate who walked in and took. Isn't that interesting how stories change? I just recorded videos. Wait, I was compromised. I sent that to my buddy. Isn't it interesting how we have 2 different stories coming out, EK? Isn't that cute? It must have been my roommate who walked in and took a photo of my screen. 1, we don't care. No one does. Exactly, that you're still responsible. Secondly, the more importantly, my friend, no, it wasn't. Because if you look at the angle of the camera, you can tell the camera was being held in the photographer's right hand. We can see the room you're in right now. The door is to your left. So either your roommate came in, walked behind you to your right and took a photograph, you didn't notice, or you took the photograph yourself. Did you proceed legal action? No, we banned him. That's probably peed him off even more. He's a streamer. He found out he's a ban when he went to stream. Loser. Sad. Well, tragic, I should say. Sad as in, why did you shoot yourself in the face? Yikes. Sorry, EK. Enjoy the Shadow Realm where you belong. Man, it's crazy how people will do anything for clout. I'm so appreciative that I'm doing my dream job already as I spent years in college. And I'm glad that I don't feel the necessary need to do crazy, stupid things to get attention. I do this all right here for free just because I find it fun. I find it entertaining. It's just something I do. But the fact that people have their careers and they're willing to shoot themselves in the foot and then lie, like no one, I would not trust this dude with anything, a document, someone's baby. Like I would not trust this dude with anything because it's very obvious that he refuses to take responsibility and he just continues to push blame on others. So rest in PCs where you belong. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Don't forget to be the best version of yourself. And until next time, game out. Huzzah.